One of the greatest things about the sport of tennis, and something you'll probably hear people say a lot, is that it's a sport you can play forever. There aren't many sports that can be said about. I mean, you won't see too many people in their 60s and 70s thrashing each other into the walls of a hockey ice rink. Or tackling each other at the 50-yard line.
Well, takes it ahead.
But you will see plenty of men and women of all ages hitting the court. Last year, I played a couple of women in their 60s on a USTA recreational league that I signed up for. And, while I walked on the court feeling as if I was going to need to go a little easy on them, after an overhead smash that whizzed by my head and a Sharapova-esque cross-court forehand bomb, it occurred to me that, that just wasn't the case. Not only is tennis a sport that people can play forever, but it's also one of the few sports that people across the board can play. As many of you may already know, even individuals who are bound to a wheelchair can partake in this incredible sport. I mean, when you think about it though, it's like, you really wonder, how is this possible? Generally, to move a wheelchair, 2 hands are used, right? So how do these players hold their racket? And tennis is a sport known for its speed, constant side-to-side and forwards and backwards movements. How could somebody in a wheelchair possibly be quick enough to chase the ball down? In 1976, freestyle skier Brad Parks suffered an accident in a competition that left him paralyzed from the waist down. Shortly after, he met a man named Jeff Minnebraker, a paraplegic who had been injured in a car accident. Minnebraker had designed his own lightweight, maneuverable wheelchair and had already started toying with wheelchair tennis. Minnebraker showed Parks how to make these custom wheelchairs, called Quadra chairs, while at the same time opening Parks' eyes to a whole new world. A world he had thought he lost along with his legs in his accident. In 1980, Parks went on to form the National Foundation of Wheelchair Tennis. And today, wheelchair tennis has become a professional sport starring world-class athletes playing tournaments around the globe.
Wheelchair tennis at the Eton Manor courts on the Olympic Park at the London 2012 Paralympic Games.
In many places, people with disabilities are looked upon with pity and constantly told what they cannot do. So not only is tennis a sport that can be played by people who can't move like their able-bodied counterparts, but it's a sport that's helping change attitudes towards disability as well. Blind tennis is also something that has begun to pick up speed. Instead of the regular tennis ball, a modified foam tennis ball with rattles in it is used. In 1984, a blind Japanese teenager named Miyoshi Takei designed the first sound-adapted tennis ball. And by 1990, Takei had organized the first national blind tennis tournament in Japan. While blind tennis is still in its infancy stage, in particular in the United States, studies have shown that not only is the sport very possible to learn, but that it has actually helped many visually impaired people with self-esteem. Once people begin to get the hang of the game, this confidence then starts being applied in everyday life as well. Tennis is one of the most adaptable sports out there. And the sport even goes beyond just its physical and recreational attributes and helps people with disabilities fight their stereotypes and live more fulfilled lives. Tennis is one of the few, if not the only, sport that is forever and for everyone. So all I've got to say is, thank you, tennis, for being simply across the board awesome.